I'm David, and this is David Talks.
I'm David, and I'm on David Talks.
All right, let's get started. Pamper Awards?
Shit, we're gonna do that. What's up?
All right, I want to do Pamper Awards to not all, but some parents. I was at a meeting for an after-school program, and while the director was going over rules and regulations with the parents, they were talking, and no one could really actually hear. And some people even said you should have a speaker with a mic, which I'm sure that would help, but I don't know if it will help at the moment, except cause more confusion and discourage others. And by the way, I just want to say this particular after-school program is funded privately. It's a non-profit organization that gets money to be able to take care of children that parents, guardians, etc., so they could be able to, work, and because they can't necessarily afford a babysitter, childcare. So it's a free program for those parents that let other adults take care of their children and provide different programs from sports to help and things of that nature. What do you think about parents that are disruptive in a setting like that?
I deal with those kind of parents, and you meet a lot of the teachers on meet the parent night and meet the teacher night, stuff like that. I feel like those parents, they just need a certain amount of attention.
Okay.
But not only are they taking the attention away from their kids, they're taking their attention away from other kids, and it shows how unimportant their children and the community of their children is to them, and I think that's really disrespectful.
Right.
And those be the same parents that complain that they don't get what they feel like they need or their child needs, and it's disruptive. So it's you guys are causing a problem to your own children.
I find what you say interesting in regards to certain parents need a certain amount of attention. Do you say that because you think maybe those particular parents may have some issues of their own?
Yeah, I think certain people, not even just parents,
right,
they do certain things and have certain actions because they need attention or they need help in certain areas. I think it's a cry out for help. That's a whole nother thing that we could get into, but it's hey, I'm here, pay attention to me, I'm here, don't forget about me, and they have to, be the main character of what they feel is a show or some kind of movie or something like that. But
right,
I think it is a cry for help. But yeah, it's
very interesting.
For attempt to solve their own issues and problems.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I just want to say that before I do give my diaper award to those parents that was disruptive, I didn't consider that, and I think that's very interesting. However, I still think it's disrespectful, and I'm still going to give them 5 diapers. I'm gonna give them 5 diapers. Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. They deserve it, okay? And I hope that for those, first off, there were very respectful people there, very appreciative people, and I'm not saying that they weren't. That was actually very engaging and listening, asking key questions that mattered to the program itself. And I just want to say thank you to those parents. Thank you to the staff for the nonprofit organization, and I'm gonna say I've been on both sides, and I do work for a nonprofit as well as you yourself. Right? So the struggles are, first off, the point of inviting parents, and it wasn't particularly the organization I work for, but I'm not sure if the parents understand the point of inviting them is to support the program for different things like behavioral issues. It's attendance is very important because nonprofit needs the attendance of the children to actually come to the program in order for the funding to continue. So when parents don't bring their children, or they don't have any excuses, it takes away from the program. It takes away money from the program, money from the child, and I'm not sure if they understand how important it is. And that was the whole point of inviting parents so they could be more a part of the program. And their say so is very important, right? It's a community effort, right? And it's a little hard to sit there and listen to instructions. Another thing is for those parents, it seems like a lot of people seem to have this issue where they're all the way in the back of the auditorium, and this nothing to do with like necessarily a nonprofit after school program, but just in general, a lot of times people know they're going somewhere where someone's going to speak, and as soon as they get in there, and I know people have different reasons why, and for those people that come late all the time, that's another situation. But if you're interested in knowing what's going on, do not sit in the back. I've seen a lot of seats next to me that were empty, and they could have just moved up instead of screaming, "Oh, we can't hear you. Can you repeat that?" That's very disruptive. I mean, just so you know, it's not helping at all. And I just want to say for that, those people that say that, please repeat yourself. We can't hear you in the back.
So to play devil's advocate, what would you suggest the organization or whoever's making these events do about disruptive parents, late parents, people sitting in the back? What would you suggest, or is there any way that you could even fix those or bring awareness to those parents? Like, would you have a meeting? How would you tackle that?
Well, I would say yes, you can send out literature to parents, but in the beginning of the year, you can, on the first day when you bring your child, they can give out literature real quick. They say, please come early. You may not be able to hear if you're sitting in the back. We encourage you to sit up front. Also, I would say, and yes, they did have some speakers speaking louder, getting attention. Some people have a gift for that, but it's not an easy thing to like get everyone to focus. There was people speaking different languages that didn't understand, and they had a translator there. And truthfully speaking, that can also be disruptive. With all due respect, it's like you're talking and then the translator's talking and people in the back is talking. There's a lot of things going on, But it was very simple. It's not like, hey, listen, if your child's absent 3 times with no explanation, we're gonna dismiss them. If your child is if your child has an IP, if your child has a situation where they might have an issue where they're going through something, please let us know, kind of thing, so we can know how to address it, so we understand the situation. So these are the kind of things that they want to learn, so they can know how to help the situation instead of hurt the situation. So if you're not following instructions because you can't hear, whose fault that is? You got to be accountable for your own actions. I'm just saying. So it was very it's quite annoying to me, to be quite honest with you. And so yeah, you definitely get that 5 diaper award. I'm just gonna leave it at that. What about you? You got your diaper award?
Before I do mine, y'all get 3 diapers from me.
Oh, 3 diapers.
I've worked with these parents before. Some parents come late for their own reasons, work and all that. That's different, separate situation.
Right.
Some parents just be in the house, take them long to get ready. And I don't know. But yeah, you guys get 3 diapers from me. My diaper award.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I got to get back to nonprofit, and I'll explain why later.
Popeyes, man, y'all doing me dirty. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get the sandwich, man. So I went into Popeyes yesterday, it can't be sold out still. They said coming back soon. I seen some of the signs. I even seen it on Twitter.
Yeah.
They have put a post up, but I'm like, all right, let's go Popeyes. I go to Popeyes, I'm ready. I'm just ready. Like, yeah, I'm about to get the sandwich. It's already, the trend is already out. I go into Popeyes and I ask the girl, hey, you got the sandwich? And she goes, Christmas.
Wow.
And it's like, I got a couple of problems with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, number one, it's like, Christmas is a long, long, long way to me.
We almost halfway into
Yeah,
September
and
now.
by that time, I think Popeyes is kind of dropping a ball, you know? And I seen that they had suggested something. I'm going to get into it in a second. But the second problem I have with it is I'm sure she's been asked all day about the sandwich.
Right.
But she was very dismissive and like kind of gross about it. Like Christmas, like I'm on my way. And I'm just like, what happened to customer service with any place, all these places? Like, it just seemed to be like everybody that day, even when we end up to go eat, I'm not gonna name any of the names of businesses and franchises, but customer service has really dropped. I think, me personally, my experience, I'm sure everybody got their stuff they go through on a daily life and all that, but customer service to me is important. I think if you are dealing with other people and you're representing a certain franchise or company, even if it's a small company, that you should have some kind of respect or present yourself and your business in a certain manner. But it's like customer service is just terrible. But Popeyes, you gotta share the diaper with that particular girl. I ain't gonna say her name. I remember the name.
I wonder what her name is. What does it start with?
Starts with a T. But shout out to T. You get a diaper. You gotta share the diapers.
Can we say the area approximately?
Yeah. Co-op City.
Co-op Cities?
Yeah. Co-op City.
Starts with a T.
Starts with a T. But yeah. I kind of wanted to segue from the Popeyes chicken and kind of broaden the topic on like foods and customer service and all that.
Can I just add a little bit something to Miss T at Popeyes?
Yeah, what's up?
Miss T at Popeyes. So I work in customer service practically all my life. One way or another, whether you're a doctor, you're still customer service because a hospital is a business. So please understand that we work with each other here. The reason why you have a job is because he went into Popeye to buy that sandwich. Just so you know. I think people need to be reminded with the bad days that we have and the stress that we have, that we make excuses. Oh, today's just not my day. Today is your day because you're alive and breathing. So today's your day. You got up and you were able to decide whether you wanted to continue your employment at Popeyes. So I'm just saying, what I'm saying to you is what I would wish somebody say to me. Hey, listen, I know you're having a bad day. However, without this person coming in here, you do not have a job. Bottom line. So please, and not to mention, it's healthier to be nice to somebody, believe it or not. Because it's automatically self-rewarding to you because that energy, it's like bouncing. You know, it's like playing tennis without knowing you're playing tennis. And then you were saying you wanted to segue into something?
Yeah. No, actually, it kind of has to do with that.
Yeah.
Energy going around. I do like what Popeyes did with, they said bring your own bun. It's kind of like bring your own beer.
Oh, cool.
So that like bring your buns and we could actually make the sandwich for you. That's the type of energy I like going around.
I like
it's
that.
like, it's not sold out if you bring your bun. I don't know exactly how that works. I might stop by, get some buns and bring it there, see if it actually works, and I'll definitely tag Popeyes and see if
that is interesting.
Also, as a community, and I've seen a lot of people complaining about certain things. I actually just watched the Bill Burr comedy special on Netflix.
Okay.
He's saying people don't go to McDonald's to eat healthy. They go to McDonald's to eat, to burp later or throw up later, get sick later,
God.
which is funny, and I do understand it. And to his point, he's like, just because it's McDonald's, it doesn't have to have a healthy choice for you. If you want, go to a supermarket and make your own salad or something. But I still believe in the option of variety. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to have a healthy salad or a healthy veggie burger or stuff like that, I think that's dope. To me, that's dope. You don't have to say, oh, well, you guys going to McDonald's, I'm going to go across the street to just salads or something like that. Maybe you want something else. Okay. So, but I kind of think that's cool. What you think about having different options on menus for like fast food restaurants?
Yeah, I mean, we do live in, I would say a country, even though I like to say this, America's not the only free country in the world. Just want to say that. And I'm happy that is the situation. However, we do live in a a country where we have a lot of choices to eat unhealthy or healthy. And we also live in a time where people are more educated about foods and nutrients and nutrition, and you know what works, what doesn't work. It's amazing that you know you find out how corn works, you know, and it's just, I think it's a great thing how we're taught what foods do for our bodies and what they, you know, the goods and the bads. So I do like that. And it's not against any countries that outlaw foods that are not good for you. And I could actually respect that.
Right.
Because, you know, the public isn't always educated on what's good for them.
Yeah, you think schools should touch more on that? Like, these foods do this, such and such, and like focus more on things that actually affect us on a daily life rather than things that we're never gonna think about again?
Actually, I do. And I also would say they used to make what we thought was hamburgers, what we called hamburgers in school. We never knew this as children, but they used to make soy burgers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, you know, I always thought I was eating a hamburger. Hey, can I have a hamburger? Can I have that hamburger? Learned later on that at that time, whomever was in charge of the diet for children were truly considering what's good for children, to be able to give them the energy that they need to be able to focus. Yes, I actually do believe that in that aspect, they should be able to feed children what they should, is because you eat certain things that make you sluggish. Your mind doesn't work the same. You can't focus, and children are in trouble. Or some children are so hyperactive, and those are different reasons why that is too. And I can certainly say in a lot of schools, they are very interested in helping children in that way. So I would say yes, definitely they should educate children about foods and what's good for them, and the best way for them to be productive and grow as adults. Absolutely. Not to mention, I also would say, and I know this could affect the way, or the adjustments could be made in regards to how long children actually do go to school.
Yeah, I think that's a cultural thing too.
Okay.
In regard to how long, but to going back to what we were talking about with the food, holistically as a society, it's looked down upon now to eat healthy. And me particularly, my palate is very particular. I like fatty foods, certain kind of foods, but I wouldn't shame somebody else for eating healthy. I think as a society, it's become like a joke. Like, oh, you're vegan, or you're this, or you're that. And I don't really know any vegans or vegetarians that infringe on how I eat. There are some that do that, but I think it's very louder from the other side to, oh, you don't eat meat, or you only eat this, or you don't eat dairy products and stuff like that. I feel like as a society, we're very toxic to people that make that choice of not focusing on meat eating.
I have my own ideas why I think that is. Let me ask you, do you think it's because they, whether it's consciously or whether it's unconscious, do you think that they feel a little bit like, I know they're right, I feel a little insecure about myself, and I don't want to hear them continuously preach to me, hey, watch what you eat. Maybe if us as and I don't mean me particularly, but us as people that do eat unhealthy could say, yeah, really? And I've said this before, yeah, you know, you could be all healthy and drop dead in a blink of an eye. You think that's their way of saying, shut up, leave me alone?
Yeah, I think it's a stop putting the mirror in front of my face type of situation. But it actually made me think, it might be fear too. It might be they don't want people to pass laws of not eating animals at all. They're probably like, all right, I don't want this to happen. But I don't know. It's just
might be predicting the future over there.
My prediction for the future, for y'all to watch this in the future, is y'all gonna look at us like savages. Like, Yeah, you guys used to eat cows. That's
Not me though.
That's sick.
Oh no, I did eat cows. That's how I was raised to eat steaks,
You guys
to
eat
pork
pigs?
chops, and all of these
Pigs
things.
are so cute.
I don't eat that anymore. Just so you know, for the record.
But I think that's gonna happen in the future, though.
And why do you think that's gonna happen?
I just think it's science. I think the more we learn about the human body and how we ingest things and how even what I do might affect how you live, like secondhand smoking and stuff. I think if we find out as a society the way we live and the air we breathe and anything we do, it affects each other. And through time, it's gonna show that if we eat a certain way or we live a certain way, that it's gonna be outlawed at some point. It's gonna be like, okay, listen, meat, or what? I'm not saying that's what meat's gonna do, but meat or smoking, now it's happening with the vapes and the e-cigarettes and stuff like that.
Right.
I think certain things are just gonna be like maybe outlawed. At first it's gonna, and I think some people, like businesses, are gonna hurt from that. But who knows, maybe the switch over like McDonald's or Burger King starting to do vegan foods, they kind of see the future. They kind of see like, all right, let's set these things in motion so we're not totally lost with certain trends or certain directions society's going. But like I said, when certain things affects the public and you can't ignore it, I think certain things are just
okay. So
decided.
All right. So like, let's say if the meat companies hired me, and even though I do not eat meat anymore, by the way, if they hired me as a lawyer, one of the things my arguments would be, and I don't know if you're the best person to answer this, but I would just say, well, what about the deers upstate that are hunted because there's so many of them, and if they're not hunted, diseases spread. What would you say about something like that?
See, like, I don't know about the ecosystem like that, but I do believe what humans do, and like even with global warming, all of that stuff affects each other.
Right.
I do believe it's everything's unbalanced. Nature's unbalanced, especially since we keep building and expanding as a human race. It affects deer overpopulating, not being able to go in different areas. They're all, pushed into one little area. So of course it's going to be overpopulated. So overpopulation, deer are going to do things that they not normally do to us, to our regular, But in case it gets too out of control, they do pass laws like, okay, let's set a certain amount of deer that can be hunted and stuff like that to control disease or anything like that. But it's to me it's like pointless, because it's like we're causing the overpopulation.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But I don't know ecology like that. That's just my take on it. But I think once we start finding a balance of, a certain way that we should live with our earth, our home, it'll kind of fix its way.
You know what? With statistics or whomever would do the research, I would say, first of all, that was a very brilliant rebuttal.
Thank you.
And I would also say that I respect it greatly. That's an amazing thing. Certainly, it's something that we should definitely consider before we give these statistics on the overpopulation of deers roaming around and they need to be hunted for sport or whatever.
Yeah, population control, disease control, whatever reasons they give. I do believe it's a real thing, overpopulation, but I do believe there's a cause to that. And if that's not addressed, then the population thing is always going to be a problem. It's going to be the symptom. If you're not addressing the sickness, why address the symptoms and just expect you're expecting it to come back. It's a business. I think it's a cycle.
And can I just touch on what you said about fast food restaurants making adjusting to people changing, because it's becoming more than just a trend of people eating differently, being conscious, and not everyone is fully educated. For those people to say, hey, what do you know about vegetarians and you just became one or whatever, what do you know about meat eaters? Like, who's doing this research to know who's right, who's wrong? However, you got to say to yourself, You know, because some people would say, well, if people stop eating meat, then there's not going to be enough food to go around. Do you actually believe that?
I don't believe it. I think actually one of the things causing greenhouse effects, not a scientist again, but it's like the overpopulation of cows and the methane that they're producing. So it's like if you have, you know, too much cows or whatever and you're dealing with that kind of issue, I think that can be replaced with other things that we're deciding that we don't like as a society, that we decide that's not good or whatever. It's kind of like I'll use cigarettes as an example. There used to be commercials that said cigarettes were healthy. Doctors used to suggest cigarettes, like, you know what I'm saying? So in this, I'm not gonna say meat is detrimental in that same degree. It might even be worse. It might not, but
Okay.
like you said, awareness or consciousness about how things affect us, and it expands beyond the trend. So now that we know cigarettes are bad for us, people still smoke cigarettes, but it's not it's not everyone does it now. I think it's like, oh, you should kind of take care of yourself. It causes lung cancer or helps produce those kind of sicknesses.
Well, in that regard, I would say, you know, because I've never smoked cigarettes in my entire life. In fact, that's another subject. I don't want to get too sidetracked, but I notice people that do smoke, they don't give you so much flack if you tell them, hey, I don't, you know, please, can you not smoke in my house? Or I don't smoke, it really bothers me.
Right.
They're not as angry or you know, dismissive.
Right.
A lot of times people just smoke and inflate, they'll blow.
Yeah.
You know, and I see that changing.
I think that has to do with the stages of guilt within themselves. As a society, the stages of guilt, the first thing was to change. I think that, like, a lot of that is anger. Like, oh, you can't tell me what to do. You're infringing on my freedom type situation.
Okay.
I think they're past that now. I think now it's more of a passive-aggressive thing. Like, fine, I'll move over there, you know, even though we have the same rights, or you have the right to not smoke, I still have the right to smoke. It's more of a passive-aggressive kind of thing.
All right.
But, yeah, I have noticed that people are a little bit more conscious about, oh, yeah, I'll put it out, no problem. When, in fact, they knew the whole time that it might be disrespectful or rude to the person that's next to them if they, you know. But I do notice some people like, do you mind if I smoke?
And I'm one of the people that I appreciate that. Thank you, by the way. And yes, I also believe, you know, the cigarettes in itself, that causes cancer, that's killed loved ones of mine and friends of all of us, I'm sure. And I think because people are, whether they're living long and dying, they're all dying from lung cancer, they're dying from cigarettes, they quit and they haven't smoked for 30 plus years, but that's still, the damage is done.
Right.
And you know, and the way they go, it's really sad. It affects us all. We all connected, by the way.
Right.
You know, the good, the bad, and the ugly, or the pretty. You know, so we're all connected, we're all affected. We all sometimes, you know, for those people that say, oh yeah, mind your business, that's not any of my concern. Okay, yes, that might save your life. True. But it is certainly our concern.
I'm going to get back to the meat thing.
Yes.
But I do want to say certain things that make changes, like big changes, before I forget. There's a kid that he's hospitalized because of the e-pens or maybe a vape, I'm not really sure. And next time I come up prepared, he's suing because his lungs resemble the lungs of like a 75-year-old person.
Wow.
And he's like young,
Wow.
20s or something like that.
Wow.
So like when more people get aware of the damage that they're doing to their bodies and stuff like that, and they start taking action against these companies and, you know, a lot, I'm not gonna say certain names like that, you know, to survive. But certain things are you know, going to take into effect, like chains of people suing and listen, I care about my body, or I paid so much for my decisions, but I was totally misled by your companies and your ads or your promotion, or, you know, once that keeps happening, I think change is going to be made, not just, you know, legislation trying to get ahead of the curve, but yeah, I think But in regards to the meat thing, when it starts becoming a thing where it's like, yo, this is causing this, you know? And some people that eat meat live to 100, and people that decide to live a healthy lifestyle and their children's children are living to 150, looking like how we looked in our 50s, 60s, 70s. When it comes to generational thing, I think that's when people are like, oh yeah, I don't want to look 100 years old at 60, you know? And that's, you know, to regards of the people in the future.
Well, yeah, getting back to your what you were saying, people in the future are going to be saying things like, wow, they live like savages.
Right.
Is that what you're referring to? Okay, and getting back to the fast food restaurants that are kind of adapting to the change, getting ahead of it, which is a very smart business tactic. Something I would do, for sure.
Yeah. Why fight it when you could just navigate?
And I just want to say I did try some alternative meat burgers recently. Yesterday I was, and the day before yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Right.
I just want to say I tried the White Castle veggie burger.
Right. I'm not a fan of veggie burgers. I tried it with them. It's all right. I'll give you that, but I haven't tried. What's the other one you was
The Impossible Whopper, I believe it's the Impossible, and that's the alternative to a meat. Let me just say to White Castle, please go back to the drawing board, please, and do something different. Yeah. It just tastes like it was very typical. It wasn't well thought out, and I guess cost efficient. You just did whatever and threw it in the burger.
It tastes like what I would try and say, yeah, veggie burgers aren't for me. But you was telling me about the Burger King thing, right?
All right, so Burger King, on the other hand, totally opposite. Yeah. Okay, the Impossible Burger is impossible. In a good way. The Impossible Burger tastes amazing, and I know there's some secrets to it. Somebody was explaining to me there's another, I would say, on First Avenue in Manhattan between 13th and 14th Street, there's a place there, and they have like chicken sandwiches. They're not really chicken. Tastes just like chicken sandwiches though. They're actually really, really good, by the way.
Popeyes.
This is for vegetarians and all that other. I'm not gonna. You guys do that, right? Y'all the experts in what's a vegetarian. Yeah. But I would tell you that the Impossible Burger, when I used to eat Burger King a long time ago, many years ago, tastes just like a beef burger.
Mind you.
And it said something about putting beets in it to make the burger, like when you bite into it and look into it, it looks red like you're eating meat. Yeah. And different soy to make it taste like you're eating a beef burger.
So it's like a seamless change, kind of like that school that she was, like how the schools provided the soy burgers.
Actually, you know what? Come to think about it, it tastes very much like the soy burger from school. I didn't even put that together, weirdly enough. Yeah. It's delicious. And usually I don't eat like mayonnaise or anything like that. Yeah. I think it got snuck in there, and it didn't get me. It was no bad aftertaste. I gotta, make sure that doesn't happen. But it ain't bother me. It was made perfectly.
I would suggest that from your experience and my experience with White Castle, like even going there, it took us like 40 minutes to get our food.
Oh my God!
And I don't even think that has to do with that particular White Castle. I think it's so not in your face. They're like, that's the trendy thing for them. Say, oh, Burger King, McDonald's has these alternative options. Let's just put out a veggie burger, and it wasn't even easy to prepare, right?
It was, good thing you said that. So what I found out, I went to Burger King earlier. By the way, very nice lady from Burger King in the Bronx on Southern Boulevard between Westchester and the Bruckner. Very nice lady. She was very helpful and treating me like a person that I am, and which is what I appreciate, right? She told me that the temperature wasn't reaching where it's supposed to reach, which I believe it's 160 degrees. It only reached to 130, so she couldn't sell me it, which which is that's what I mean in regards to respect. She wasn't concerned with making the $10 from me.
Right.
She was concerned with my health as a person.
That's dope.
And I appreciate that, and thank you again. Okay, I appreciate that very much. And I didn't get a chance to try it until later on, and it was just an amazing thing.
Yeah.
And I think like in the White Castles, it took about at minimum 50 plus minutes.
Yeah, it was well.
It took a long time. I don't know if their process is the same.
Yeah, it's probably had to keep putting it in the back.
They might have to keep maybe that's that's possible. So in that regard, you know what? I would have appreciated it. Wasn't really crowded. So I would have appreciated if somebody could have just came up to me, and the lady was nice, but you know, she was okay when she finally came after a half hour. I asked a couple of times. A crowd did come after 30 minutes, so it was about maybe 7 people. And my opinion, in a fast food restaurant, that's not a crowd.
Right.
But, you know, for argument's sake and for consideration, you know, it's a fast food restaurant, but I don't expect, hey, look, I'm here, get that burger to me right now. I got things to do. Because I know things take time. It doesn't matter where you at, what's going on.
Yeah.
You know? But if I find out White Castle improved on their burger, I'll try it again.
Yeah, I'll try it again. I'm gonna try to.
Are you gonna finally try?
I'll give you an update on that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, White Castle, you almost ruined it for him.
I don't know. I'm kind of
made him not want to try the Impossible Burger at Burger King.
Right.
It's not nice.
they planted that.
They probably did. They probably was like, let me mess this up and let them keep coming.
Right.
All right. So maybe that's the situation.
That kind of brings up my the segment things I'll be doing.
Yes.
Mount Rushmore's.
Okay, Mount Rushmore.
Top 4.
Yes.
Fast food restaurants.
Top 4 fast food restaurants. I'm gonna have to.
I know it's a regional thing. I know some places have like Jack in the Box in the West Coast and In-N-Out Burger. I've never tried it. I want to try it. But
Well, I stopped eating McDonald's.
Right.
Because you know, I'm not gonna. I just hope they fix what they fixed. Like this just the things that I've heard about it, how they, you know, what's food, what's not food, whatever. I don't eat it no more. You talking about my favorites?
Yeah,
or
your
the
favorites.
favorites?
I mean, everybody knows the top, so I guess we should say your favorites. It could even be like the pizza shops, I don't know, Domino's, anything even small, but it has to be like
I'm
food
gonna
chain.
Wow. My food selection has changed.
Yeah.
I'm eating a little bit more healthy. But I tell you what I did enjoy. I did enjoy Papa John's pizza. I think they make pretty good pizza.
Yeah.
You know, because of the cheese, I'm changing the way I eat now. That's gonna be a little bit hard. I would say my favorite Can I say my favorite restaurant?
Yeah. I mean, is it a chain or some?
It's somewhat of a chain. I noticed they got 2 restaurants. Blend on the Water.
Oh, okay.
They got 2 of them in Long Island City.
It's interesting.
It's one of my favorite. I love the scenery. I love the customer service. It's really great.
Yeah, I think it's a chain. They have
I feel really comfortable there.
All right, that's an interesting. Yeah,
you know,
twisted. Threw my whole list in the garbage.
I didn't mean to do that.
Nah.
I didn't mean. I'm just trying to change. I'm trying to change the way I eat. I'm trying to be more health conscious. I do appreciate the selection again of foods. I tell you what, I could just say my used to be. It was McDonald's.
Right.
I mean, nobody made food like McDonald's, and you know, I just had to make a tough choice.
So McDonald's is one.
Yeah.
I mean, Blended Waters too.
I would say McDonald's. No, I would say McDonald's because of the way they prepare their food. I can't give it to them right now.
Gotcha.
But if you guys change, I got you.
Yeah.
All right. But I'm gonna say Blend on the Water is one. Wow, I didn't even think I eat at so many places right now. I can't even think of them. Right. And I know after this, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, all these places.
Domino's. I love Domino's.
You love Domino's.
Domino's is amazing. Ironically, White Castle, man. I love White Castle. Even though y'all messing up right now with the veggie burgers, they're terrible.
I'm not.
Y'all gotta go a different direction. Y'all gotta y'all gotta like get some science.
White Castle couldn't give me nothing there for free.
Well, listen,
nothing.
The murder burgers is the way to go. I can keep going. I already know my.
Well, just go ahead. You got this one.
Popeyes, the biscuits. Even though the chicken has made this like
Biscuits are pretty good
the
though.
biscuits just make it for me. Just makes it.
Biscuits.
And then since you said blending the water, you threw away my Taco Bell thing. Cause now I got a whole another maybe charcoal. I don't know, man. Damn, now I gotta really think about it. But yeah, I'm gonna put in my Taco Bell. I can't do them dirty
It's
like
one of
that.
my favorite places to eat is Blend on the Water.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna. I just got to go with that. I love the fact that I could take the ferry. And I could take the ferry straight there. Like literally, when I get off the ferry, I walk around. I get on the walkway, and I walk right into Blend on the Water. I love it.
Don't tell them about. I don't want the ferries to be overcrowded.
Oh yeah,
Secret
forget
place.
about that.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to take
Erase it from
a
your
train
mind.
or something, and yeah, you have to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I see how stuff like that is becoming a thing in New York, more of like a experience.
Yeah.
I think the whole mall thing is dying now, probably because of online shopping. So now New York is very experience oriented.
Okay.
But yeah, I do like that place too. I actually ate there as well.
Right.
But the ferry thing, stuff like that, I see a lot of that in New York. What do you think? You think that's for tourism, or you think that's just they trying to create a area of you always got something to do in New York?
Well, I think that is long overdue. I'm happy in regards to being able to get to the city without traffic
Yeah.
on any given time of the day. It's very relaxing.
Right.
I do appreciate that they have a store. You know, you can buy food in the ferry. So it's a really inexpensive way to be able to travel and be able to see the city. Also, to be able to get around. You got a ferry coming from the Bronx. You got a ferry in Queens. Ferry going to the beaches, right? Brooklyn. You got Staten Island. You have a Jersey ferry, and they all come to New York City, and you go back without any of the traffic.
So no one's even thinking about like taking the waterway. But now it's like you want people to know about it. Yeah, it's like you don't want to destroy that little.
Well, yeah.
Secret,
I mean, it is getting kind of crowded.
Yeah.
But they make it really easy where you can just go on your app and you just show, and it shows that it shows active and it shows the time.
So at least they're not like how you gotta
Oh my gosh.
get a whole lifeguard license.
Forget
and
about it.
everything.
Yeah. You ain't gotta go get a Metro card,
Yeah.
and you have options.
Right.
And we all have. I'm not gonna say all of us, right? Because some of us, for whatever reasons, respectfully, for their own reasons, do not have smartphones.
Right.
But and you do have other options. But it's really easy for the 90+% of us that actually do have smartphones to just be able to just show that. And they're very courteous, they're very respectful, very helpful. The people on the ferries, thank you, by the way. Very, very helpful. It's probably the best ferry I've ever been on
Right.
in that regard.
Right.
So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for making it easy. It was a great experience, and I'll be taking the ferry more often.
I'm definitely gonna try it. I want to see what you guys are talking about. How it gives you a different feel of New York that you kind of just
Absolutely.
didn't know was there.
Absolutely.
So I like seeing New York from different perspectives.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I've been out of New York in different states, not countries, but New York has a certain feel to it. So to experience it, and walking wise, car wise, bike wise, you guys should try the bike wise. But I want to definitely experience what you guys did on the boat.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're gonna love it. No doubt about it. And speaking of boats, Uber has, and they've had boats, which I think is great. And I just noticed. I've been noticing for the last few months. I noticed there was also a protest of some sort with the Uber and Lyft drivers on the FDR today, earlier, and they're looking for more benefits. I'm going to assume this, that they want like insurance for health and probably more wages. From my understanding, they were saying that like Uber or Lyft takes more than 40% of what they earn.
That's horrible.
That's
me. That's my opinion. I think
well,
that's
what I would say is that I'm not an expert on this, and I do know that Uber and Lyft provides a service for the drivers. And I know some drivers have told me it's up to them how much they making, anywhere from I guess 1,000 to 2,500 a week. I've heard.
But that's overworking. Like, don't you think we should get to a point as a society where no one's overworking? Like, we have more time for ourselves and our families. I think that creates more of, like, even brain space to create more, to get to advances, you know. But I feel like now, with people working so much, they're in like zombie mode, you know. So even for Uber drivers, they can't even probably, you know, do their best performance because they're probably tired or overworked or over it or thinking about their futures. Like, don't you think that Uber or Lyft or any particular company like that should focus more on making the drivers more comfortable, whereas if you want to live or eat, you have to work so much, you have to do all this?
I 100% agree. And I don't, in that regard, this doesn't apply to just Uber or Lyft drivers. This applies to teachers, to nonprofit organizations, police officers, doctors. As a whole, I believe, garbage sanitation, private companies, doesn't matter. You're working at the grocery store,
Right.
the supermarket, whatever it might be. I believe that we all should work a lot less and getting back to the school situation, because parents need to leave their children in school for more than a regular day, to do after school, so they can, so they don't have to hire a babysitter, which usually they can't afford, right? If they didn't work as much, that won't be necessary,
Right.
and and then the work wouldn't be. People will be able to get more rest and
Right.
have more time for their families, and I believe that's long overdue. And I also believe, like you said, in the future, I believe that they will also be looking at us like, wow, because it's a form of abuse.
Yeah.
It's a physical and it's a mental, and that's a big topic that we can get into next time.
Well, why don't we start now? I got an idea.
Yes.
I'm not into hashtags, but this to me, this could be a hashtag. It could start literally here. How about we take a day off of the week?
Aside from Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, because I know people still work during them days, but like maybe we could alter it. What if we added another day to the weekend? Like a whole day.
Or close the city down for a day. Hashtag take another day off, maybe a Monday,
Right. Maybe Friday.
or maybe a Friday,
Free Fridays.
or just close the city for one day a week.
Hashtag free Fridays. Not even just the city, like holistically as the whole, maybe the whole world, United States,
Can you
whoever
imagine
we
people-
address. Free Fridays.
People kind of,
Hashtag.
hey, how you doing? Good morning.
Right.
And interaction would be so much greater.
Imagine that, yeah. That kind of goes with the savage thing. Like, people in the 2000s worked 5 days a week. Can you believe
And you heard
that?
it first here on David's Talks.
That's dope. I think that might actually work. That might be a thing. I'm
Hashtag-
not saying I started it or thought of it first.
Hashtag,
but
what do you call it?
Free Fridays.
Hashtag Free Fridays. I'm
Yeah,
going to
who
put this
knows?
on.
That'd be crazy.
I got you.
That'd be dope.
I got you.
Before we get out of here, I wanted to do the Let Go, Let It Go.
Yeah, what you got?
Jurassic Park, man. They just came out with a short movie, like a little small one.
Yeah.
I'm not into it. I can't get into it. I think for Jurassic Park, you need to let it go.
I think you could tell by my expression when he said that, I'm done with Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Thank you, but no thank you. Let it go.
Yeah, it's a let it go now. I see, they brought back the other movies. They were okay. They were alright. I think there's so much other ways you could explore dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Go in the past or something. I think Godzilla was talking about doing a whole movie, prehistoric time. But, like, just try
That's
something
interesting.
different.
Yeah, that
like,
is
maybe not
interesting.
stick their
It's
idea,
totally different
but
perspective. I know everybody wants to be there
Right.
with the dinosaur, but
Yeah.
according to history, we weren't there. I don't know. I ain't into that right now. But listen, we got a lot of more topics to discuss.
Right.
Tune in for the next David Talks. Thank you for watching. Much love.